What to do with an idea? Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm a specialist nurse and founder of the iCrowd. Thank you for joining me again. And so far, we've covered what is innovation and how to build an innovator's mindset. We are now focusing on what to do with an idea. We often have a number of questions once we have an idea, such as, how do I know it's a good idea? What are the next steps? What should I do to protect my idea? And how do I know if my idea is original? We will look to answer some of these questions and also some of the most commonly asked questions. I don't often refer to a children's book, but there is a beautiful illustrated book which is available in Read Aloud, the link at the bottom of this page. It really resonated with me, as this was my experience when developing the iCrowd. I'd been really frustrated with my lack of success in implementing my ideas over a number of years, when I thought there's got to be a better way of getting help and support, and there has to be a better way, and why did it not exist already? Like the story this idea followed me, I would say it was like a stalker. It would pop up, and the more I tried to put it down, the more persistent it came. At first, I felt conscious talking to people, and many told me it was too difficult. Others had tried and failed. I wouldn't waste my time, I was told, or I don't understand what you're trying to do. I even tried to get other organisations to take on the idea, but they made it clear that although they felt it was necessary, it was too hard, or they were doing their own thing. When you put yourself out there, it can often attract negative attention, and this can be difficult to manage. It would be easy to give up, and I'd thought about giving up on so many occasions. But each time I did, something would happen. The idea would reappear like a child playing peekaboo. I was lucky I got other people who were prepared to help support me with this, who felt it was a good idea. And experience has told me that you can't do this alone. So I decided to feed my idea, to care about it, to nourish it, and to give it my attention. As such, it started to grow, to evolve, and it grew much bigger. It got bold, it got more colourful, until I feel that my idea can change the world. What have your experience been with your idea? I would love to hear about them. I've developed an 8-stage plan to help you develop an idea. Of course, you may do this in a slightly different order. You may already have a team you're working with, and the idea came out of that collaborative process. But the first phase of a plan is to do your due diligence. Talk to some trusted people about your idea and gauge their response. Research if a similar product, service, technology exists. If it does, do a SWOT analysis, the strengths, weakness, opportunities, threat of their products or services. If your idea already exists, think, what does your idea offer differently? Can you bring it to market cheaper? Does it deliver a solution in a different way? How does your idea add value? Next, consider who are your stakeholders. What are their response? Would they buy it, recommend it? Would it help them? Would your customers buy it? Conduct customer and end user research. There's a book called The Mom Test, which is a great support to ask non-leading questions in an easy to understand step-by-step approach. We can often ask friends and families for their feedback on our idea, and because they are connected to us and love us, they may not always give us the responses that we're looking for. So make sure we validate this with proper customer and user research. Secondly, think about what possible funding options may be available to you. You may be able to self-fund or ask family and friends, and there's clearly a risk to this option, so consider it carefully. You may also want to consider a loan or investment. Each option has its pros and cons, so think carefully about it and don't rush into it. In thinking about your best funding options, also think about what the potential size of the market in your risk-benefit analysis. Thirdly, if you don't have a team, consider bringing someone or a team on board. It's unlikely that you will have all the skills needed to develop your idea. Startups with co-founders are more likely to get investments and be more successful. Having support is key, as this can be time-consuming and an exhausting roller coaster ride. As you progress through the process, you are building your business case and pitch deck. A technique you can use is called a Pixar pitch, which has been adapted from the Pixar animation studios. There are lots of examples of this approach online, so do take a look. You can also use the Business Model Canvas template, which is a readily available source to help clarify your value proposition, customer segments, and your revenue streams. The value proposition, put simply, it's a statement of how your product or service will benefit your customer. Next time you purchase something, take a moment to think about their value proposition. The fourth category is to create an MVP, a minimal viable product, which can help illustrate your product service and test this. This has been developed from the Lean Startup methodology from Eric Ries. Developing your MVP should be an iterative process and it will not be perfect. The key is to keep it simple. I've seen MVPs as a storyboard or built with sellotape, cardboard and post-it notes, to more elaborate MVPs, which are a simplified version of the product. There's also plenty of help and support out there and funding opportunities. Do note that there are people who will use your naivety for their own benefits. Some further great tips to help you based on my experiences is make sure you're creating a solution for the problem rather than fitting your solution to the problem. Remember, being courageous is simply taking small steps repeatedly. The team that you work with is so important. So invest time in this and try to make sure that you're on the same page with your values and set things up carefully so that you look after the idea. A large proportion of startups fail because of communication and misunderstanding within teams. Finally, this can be a daunting but exciting process, so make sure you look after you. Remember, a better life, i.e. healthy and balance, equals better performance. And again, as with all of the sessions, please do give us feedback on what you find helpful and what further information you would find useful. Thank you again for your time.